What is our plan for my son's 8th grade year? Okay, I'm a little late to the party with this one. I know that, considering we're nearing the end of our first term already, but I'm finally getting around to sharing with you our 8th grade curriculum plans for the 2022 school year. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kylie. I've been homeschooling since 2007 and I provide you with encouragement, support, hints and tips for a fabulous homeschool experience. If you're interested in ways to help calm the chaos in your homeschool, then make sure you subscribe, because every week we share a new video here that will encourage you on your journey. So firstly, if you've been here for any length of time, you know that we don't really do grade levels. After all, they're an arbitrary construct with no real use outside of the school setting. But for ease of use, I do use them here in videos like this. Okay, let's get into it. So let's start with maths. We have continued working in Australian curriculum traditional maths textbooks. You remember at the beginning of last year, we made the decision to move away from homeschool math curricula and transferred across to an Australian curriculum textbook. And he's doing really well. We're still seeing our tutor as often as we can. This year, something, whether it's maturity, time, being used to this style of learning, something's definitely clicked. He's pretty much already finished the first 3 units in this book. So that's going really, really well for him. If you want to see inside what the Jacaranda textbooks look like, I did a flip through of the grade 7 one last year. So not a huge amount changes. Obviously the content gets a little bit harder each time, but it'll give you a good look inside, and I'll pop the description for that video and I will pop the link for that video in the description box down below so that you can check that one out yourself. So along with that, as a bit of a supplement, we're going to be using the Excel problem solving workbook year 8. So this one will go along nicely just to add in a bit more problem solving skills. I also recently did a flip through of these Excel workbooks. So if you want to see what these are like, again, I will pop the link for that video down in the description box below. So that is math for us. Moving on to English. You will notice this year I have tried my hardest to scale things right back. I am a self-proclaimed curriculum junkie. I love programs, I love finding programs, I love researching curriculum programs, and I love, have a look behind me, hoarding books and curriculum and various educational programs. So I've tried really hard to scale back this year because we never, ever get done what I plan to get done at the beginning of the year. And I have made some bigger changes for the year ahead in terms of English and how we're going to tackle that as well. Firstly, we are continuing with Logic of English Essentials for spelling and grammar. This works well for us, so we will continue to use that. The one big change that I'm looking at making this year, and that I have all my fingers crossed that this is going to play out how I see it in my head, is I'm in discussion with an English teacher that is going to come into our home once a week and run small group English sessions. So my bigger goal with that is that we will do a new novel study every term and she will run that, and then we'll also have a writing class and she will focus on that. So with the little bit that we do at home with spelling and grammar, with her doing novel studies and writing, we've pretty much got English covered. So currently with novel studies, we're doing Hatchet, and I purchased a unit that the kids just do in a notebook from Teachers Pay Teachers. So we're enjoying that one. I would recommend though, if you want to do the audio version of Hatchet, probably don't do the one that's available that we found anyway. There might be more than one over on YouTube. It wasn't great. So we've stopped that and we've gone back to just me reading aloud with the kids. So that's a Hatchet novel study. And the next novel study we will do will be The Giver. I don't actually have plans for any set in stone that we'll continue to do throughout the year, but they are our first 2 novel studies. And then we're going to be doing this Excel English workbook year 8. So this one just covers a whole bunch of different text types and has a whole wad of very typical workbook style activities that go around with the various text types. If you want to have a look inside this, again, I have done a flip through video and I will pop a link to that in the description box below. Okay, history. I think most of you are going to know what I'm going to say about history, but of course we will be continuing with History Quest. So we've got the reader and then we have the study guide to go along with that. Now we certainly don't follow this to a T and do everything that History Quest tells us to do. The way we do history, these chapters are broken into two components. So you've got the history, the core part of the chapter, and then you have what History Quest coined a history hop, where it's a bit of a story about an historical figure living in that time and you follow them. So you've got two separate parts to the one chapter. So we break that up. The actual history part of the chapter, where it's covering, you know, the dates, times, places, everything else that happened in that era, is we read that aloud and we practice our note-taking skills for history. And then the kids write a very brief paragraph and create a very simple notebooking page to go along with that chapter. And they generally do that whilst we're reading the history hop. Do we do all the art and craft activities? No. Do we do them when they sound exciting and feel like they'll bring us some value? Yes. So in the guide, there's mapping, there's copywork, additional reading that you can add in. We just do those when we see fit, which at the moment isn't really all that much. Other thing to take note of is that History Quest is an elementary age program, yet I'm using it for older kids. We really like this book. I personally don't feel that we need anything heavier than this for history. It covers it in an interesting, engaging fashion. So we really like History Quest. If you want to see inside these, again, I have done a flip through and I will link that video down below as well. Science for this year. Again, there's plenty of science of what I've done in the past here on the channel, and we're changing things up for the year. We haven't actually officially started science, except keeping up with our scientific documentary watching, which we do every single day of the week. But I've got a science teacher coming and we've got our first trial session in 2 weeks, I think, from day of filming, 2 weeks, and we're going to be doing forensic science for at least a term. And then we have plans, all being well, to continue where she will run block terms of theme-based scientific topics. So I'm really excited about that. We'll have a small group of teenagers coming together and doing science with a science teacher who also has experience in the scientific field. Geography for us is Trail Guide to World Geography. I really like this program. It's simple, it's easy to use, it can be covered in literally 10 minutes a day if that's what you want to do. If you want to make geography this big, all-encompassing thing to study, then it also has a gamut of ideas and activities that you can add in to your geography studies. That's what I like the most about this. It's flexible and it's something that basically all of your family can do together. So that's the Trail Guide to World Geography. And yes, I have a flip through of that one as well, and I will pop the link to that in the description box below. To go along with this, we still love, even though the kids are older, we love doing country studies. So we love exploring the world vicariously through YouTube and books and movies and documentaries, but sitting here at home on our couch. So we will continue to do that. I showed you, I think at some point we did an Iceland mini unit study, and I put together a journal for the kids to complete. So we will continue doing country units like that throughout the year. And when we're doing those country units and Trail Guide to World Geography, we always use our Lone Little Planet Kids travel book, and we have several atlases here that we draw on for those. Again, these Lonely Planet Kids books are fabulous. Love these. They've definitely been a great addition to our home library. And of course, I have a flip through to these as well, so I'll pop that link in the description box for you down below. When it comes to things like technology, my son started to get into a bit of video editing, so he will continue to learn that skill. And the other thing that's really come up for me lately is that we need to be doing coding. So I haven't done any more around that. I haven't really made a plan with that, but that is something that I have listed for the year, that we need to get started on some type of coding for him. I'm not sure how he's going to feel about that, so that we just sort of need to talk that one out a little bit. For some extracurricular activities, which to me is not extracurricular, you know, I see everything on an even keel. Everything is as important as everything else, but he will continue with his cadets program where he goes once a week, and that is an emergency services cadets immersion program. And then also currently he is horse riding again once a week as well. And then of course we will continue with outside excursions and meetups with homeschool kids and all those manner of things. So that is 8th grade. That will be us. If you have any questions about anything I've shared, please feel free to pop them down in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.